Congressman Michael Arcuri joined local officials and environmental organization representatives in Oneonta to discuss an amendment he successfully offered during the House Committee Transportation and Infrastructure's consideration of the Oil Spill Accountability and Environmental Protection Act of 2010.
Back in 2005, the House of Representatives passed then the energy bill, FERC bill. That's what gave us the NYRE power lines and a lot of the other legislation we're seeing now. In that energy bill, one of the things that they did was they gave gas and oil companies an exemption from oversight by the EPA for their construction sites for gas and oil drilling. So in other words, right now if you were to build a farm, you were to build a house, you were to build a school, anything, you would have to go to EPA and say, I need a waiver for this construction site. The reason for that is the runoff water comes through construction sites at a much higher rate because they're wide open, picks up sand and sediment and deposits them into, the water table, and then they have to be cleaned up. So anywhere else you have to get a waiver for it, except in the construction industry for gas or oil.
Last week, as a result of the BP oil spill, the Federal Transportation Infrastructure Committee took up legislation on the oil accountability issue. They want to make oil companies more accountable when it comes to keeping the water clean. Arcuri tacked an amendment on that will again empower the EPA to regulate gas and oil companies. Arcuri says he wants to make sure the EPA has a role in overseeing possible future drilling and hydrofracking.
I sat through several hours of hearings where we had one of the senior people from BP and Transatlantic in front of our committee, and listening to them talk about how they self-certify the effectiveness of the blowout protection on their equipment. You sit there and you go, self-certified? We're talking about, a disaster beyond any that we've ever seen before because we allow companies to self-certify the effectiveness of their safety equipment. That's unacceptable. This is happening in the ocean. This could happen on land as well, and if it happens on land, it's going to pollute our drinking water. We cannot afford to let that happen. Here in New York, natural gas may be a great natural resource, but it's certainly not our greatest natural resource. Our greatest natural resource is our water. We can live without natural gas. We cannot live without our water.
Arcuri's amendment is part of the Oil Spill Accountability and Environmental Protection Act of 2010, a larger strategy to ensure that oil and gas development is conducted in a manner that does not threaten public health or the environment. It was reported favorably in committee. As the fight now moves to the House floor, Arcuri says he'll continue to work with Congressman Maurice Hinchey and other environmental advocates. Dave Lucas, WAMC News.